It's Memorial Day, which marks the unofficial start to summer and the beginning of Mackinac Island's busy season. But how you get there has been a topic of discussion at the state capitol.
13 Your Side's political reporter Josh Albertus joins us now with the political fight over the ferry services to the island. Josh.
Yeah, guys, it's especially timely given that many of the state's political leaders are going to be on the island this week for the annual Mackinac Policy Conference. State law already lets the city regulate ferries, but this specific expanded language is what some feel is needed given the modern circumstances.
Nestled between Michigan's two peninsulas, Mackinac Island sits as a crown jewel of state summertime. And how you get there has always been part of the adventure, but now it's in the choppy waters of state politics. Peak season travel to this major tourism hub happens almost exclusively aboard ferry services. But since 2024, both major ferry services have been owned by one group, Hoffman family of companies.
They now completely control virtually all access to Mackinac Island, including that Michigan State Park that we all pay for, that constitutes more than 80% of that island.
The city and ferry services have now been involved in a lengthy legal battle over whether the island government has power over the service's fares and parking rates. A federal appeals court earlier this year agreed the city had power over fares, but not parking, located on the mainland in Mackinac City and St. Ignace. The court's opinion saying if the state of Michigan sought to grant the city broad extraterritorial authority over substantial land in St. Ignace and Mackinac City, it would have said so. Now the state legislature is saying so for Mackinac Island, the only Michigan city where state lawmakers oversee its charter.
Now, I am all for the free market, but in the face of an uncompetitive environment that has such dramatic implications for access to an important public part of our state, we need to take action.
Senator John DeMoose's bill, heard in committee last summer and passed through the legislature last week, would open the city charter up to language that would allow for specific regulation over all aspects of ferry service. But local mainland leaders and the head of one of the ferry services weren't on board.
I believe that we are doing everything we can to keep costs down, but it is an expensive adventure to run high-speed ferries to and from Mackinac Island.
We want to have a seat at the table, and we don't want legislation that says all aspects of ferry operations, whether on the island or on the mainland. We oppose that.
Now, the way this works is that this change would still need to be voted for by island residents before it could take effect. That latest version does include a clause about not diminishing authority of other townships, cities, or villages. We have reached out to Hoffman for comment as well. In the newsroom, Josh Albertus, 13 on Your Side.